Today, we're delving into a fascinating topic: devilish place names in the United States. From the eerie Devil's Tower in Wyoming to the challenging Devil's Path in the Catskill Mountains, these places have more to their names than meets the eye. Join us as we uncover the intriguing history behind these devilish labels and the controversies they've stirred. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, click the bell icon as well. It really helps me out and I appreciate it a lot. Alright, let's get started. No matter where you go in the US, from the mountains to the swamps, you're bound to bump into places with kinda spooky, devilish names. Ever heard of Devil's Tower in Wyoming? How about Devil's Path in the Catskill Mountains of New York? Or Devil's Swamp in Mississippi? Yep, these places actually exist. Now, you might be wondering, why all these devil names? Well, it varies. In some places, like Devil's Path, the terrain is so rough and challenging, it's as if you're walking through the devil's own obstacle course. But hold on, some of these names have deeper, darker histories that go way back to the 1600s. Remember the Puritans? Those were the folks who sailed over from Europe and settled in New England. Now, these people were a bit, let's say, judgmental. They considered the Native Americans, the original people living on the land, as witches who worshiped the devil. Can you believe that? Because of these beliefs, these early settlers went ahead and slapped devilish labels on places that were actually sacred to the Native Americans. So, get this. Those Puritans from way back when really had a knack for seeing evil all over the place. Take Thomas Mayhew Jr., for example. This guy was a Puritan missionary who said that the Wampanoag people of Martha's Vineyard were deep into worshiping false gods and devils. And it wasn't just the Puritans. Early settlers from Spain, France, and the Netherlands were in on this way of thinking too. Maybe that's why you'll find so many devil-named places across the US. But wait, there's more! As America started to stretch its legs and expand westward, this habit of sticking devilish names on places didn't slow down. Oh no! In fact, out west, it kinda ramped up. Jonathan Hull, a guy who made a cool, interactive map about all the devilish place names in the US, said, "There are an awful lot of devil's elbows around. Backbones made sense, but so many other features, such as devil's nose. I didn't expect so many." You might be thinking, okay, maybe the scary-looking landscapes out west had something to do with it. Sure, I can see that. I mean, some of these places can look like scenes from a horror movie. But you gotta also wonder if this trend had anything to do with the ongoing negative views about native cultures. Maybe those old attitudes just stuck around, you know? Devil's Tower in the US got its current name from a guy named Lieutenant Colonel Richard Irving Dodge back in 1875. But hold on, this place had a kinda similar name even in 1812 when it was called Devil's Mountain. Now, Dodge wasn't too friendly toward Native Americans. He thought of them as inhuman savages, which is pretty messed up, right? And get this, he turned a blind eye when gold miners started taking over land that was promised to the Lakota people in the Black Hills of South Dakota. So much for sticking to treaties. Before Dodge stamped his name on it, this majestic butte had its own set of names. The Lakota people, for instance, called it Mato Tapila, which means Bear's Lodge, and for them, this place is sacred, like a holy spot on earth. Diana Mitchell, who is a part of the Eastern Shoshone tribe, really spells it out. She says naming it Devil's Tower is like adding insult to injury. Why? Because back in the day, white settlers often referred to Native Americans as devils or dirty devils. Can you imagine how it feels to pray at a place that has such a demeaning name slapped on it? So, yeah, the naming thing, it's not just about words on a map. It brings up all sorts of issues, like historical wrongs and cultural respect, or the lack of it. Makes you think twice about what's in a name, doesn't it? And there you have it, folks. The story behind the devilish names scattered across the American landscape. From Puritan beliefs to cultural insensitivity, these names remind us that words on a map can carry a weighty history. So the next time you encounter a place with a devilish moniker, remember the layers of meaning hidden beneath the surface. If you like what I do in here, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you have some anime that you'd like me to cover, write it down in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.